time to put that hand to what will move you forward. We're not looking back, and there ain't no stopping us now. What awaits you is right in front. It's something new, and it's just for you. So join me for that new thing, starting now on A New Thing Live. Hello and welcome to A New Thing Live. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. My name is Cyndi Galley, and I'm the host of this fabulous show. I think it's pretty fantastic. It really is amazing. The Lord dropped this whole thing in my heart that he wants to do a new thing, and not just in me, but in every one of us. And so that's what this show is about. It's about doing that new thing that's in you, that's in me. It can be your home life, your work life, your personal, your physical, your finances, all of the above. But it's just time to do something new. And so today is the 13th of June. My goodness, we are well now crossing into the midpoint of June. But I'm so glad that you're here. Hey, if this is your first time, we want to welcome you. If this is your umpteenth time, we want to welcome you. But we want you to know this. This is an interactive show, so let us know where you're watching from. Like, hit us up and say, hey, I'm joining you from blank, or this is so-and-so, and I'm glad to be here. And when we're talking tonight with our special guests, or when we're sharing a segment or something fun with you, then just like be a part of what's going on. Just hit up that chat there, especially if you're on YouTube and it's live, you can do it. On Facebook, you can do it. On Roku, if you're watching us on Roku, or on demand that you can't, but still take a look at the comments. I think that it's a lot of fun, but we're so glad that you're here. Welcome, Creative Motion Network. So glad to have you with us as well. So now we are like in the time. I mean, some people have already stopped school, graduated, summer has begun, all of the above. And not only that, but this upcoming Sunday is Father's Day. So this is going to be a segment and a show completely dedicated to dads and grads, So a lot of good stuff going on. And I am so excited about tonight's guests. They are amazing. And so some of you might know who they are. And for some of you, you may be meeting them for the very first time. But before we bring them out, we have a fun little segment for you. So, it's like, okay, we're now Monday, we've got a few days left before getting that perfect gift for dad, And so our team has gone and taken a look at some of the fun things out there, but not just for dads, but also for grads. So we're going to share with you just a few, let's see, gifts for dads and grads. I love it. Gifts for dads and grads. So we hit the internet, and here are some of the things that we've got that we found. Okay, first of all, now my vision is so bad. I really do need to have bigger note cards, but okay, for the dad that's saucy, for dads that like sauces, we found Yellow Bird's organic hot sauce. It's a variety 4-pack. It's at Nordstrom. Let me see if I can give you the price, because we definitely want to give you all of the info as well. Let's see here. Pricing on the sauce. $25, $25 for that Yellow Bird sauce. Look how fun that is. I want that sauce pack. So that's at Nordstrom. You probably can find it as well going on Nordstrom online. $25 for this fun sauce pack. For the dad that's into tech, or maybe not only that, but he's a coffee drinker as well. The Ember Mug 2. You can get that from Best Buy. That's $130, but it's a great gift. I actually gave one to my dad a few years back. I don't know if he's used it, but I was so excited because I knew that the Ember Mug from Starbucks, that's where mine was from, was all the rage. So what a great gift for the tech dad that loves to drink coffee. That's about $130 at Best Buy. And then for the dad that really likes fragrances and enjoys like a nice smelling room and ambiance. I've got a guy friend, he loves the smell of ambiance. Here is Sniff's Sweet Ash Candle, and you can get that at sniff.co. That is $44, $44. Now for the grad, we thought we would find just kind of some cool things for the grad, a little bit younger, a little bit hipper. This could be for a guy or a girl, but we came across an all-purpose bag. This is called the Rains Backpack Mini, and it's made by Madewell, which is a great brand. $95 for that, but that bag is going to protect all of your books, your notebook, your paper, your laptop or your iPad, anything of value that you have in a backpack. It's going to keep it from getting wet. That's by Madewell, which is a great brand. And then we took a little bit, we like our iPhones and our Apple, not going to lie, our MacBook Pro and all of this good stuff. But we found some exercise friendly earbuds by Jabra. And these are the Elite 7 Active. And on Amazon right now, you can get them anywhere from $159 to $179. Now, the one that we have here, it's a really pretty seafoam green, but there's also black and other colors. I think the black was $159. Regularly, though, these run for $199. So those are just some of the fun things that we found. We don't like to overwhelm you, but just to give you some options, or maybe to get you thinking like, you know what? I actually do need to get on the ball, and I need to start shopping for my dad and for my grad. Okay. So I don't know what you have planned for your dads, but with everything going on, I just keep telling people just make that effort, and let's be intentional about these special days and times that we have to celebrate our dads, our loved ones. May was Mother's Day, birthdays, graduations. Tomorrow promises us nothing, right? And especially in light of everything you see going on. And so we really want you to take the time to honor your dads. And so I don't know what your relationship with your dad is like. In fact, on the 20th, next Monday, we actually are going to have it's a video that it's a episode that we've had before, but it's with Jeff Hamilton, who's the founder of Dad Academy. And he just talks about his program, and it's a great program for dads. And we're going to have him live as well. But, we're really going to try and foster mending and healing and restoration. Gone are the days where you're going to be holding a grudge for longer than a minute, 10 minutes. Some people can hold grudges for a really long time. And I just think, is it worth it? It's not worth it. Your peace isn't worth it. Your health and your healing, that sometimes when you hold on to those things, sickness can actually start to take place in your body because you're holding on to it. And so there's bitterness that begins to fester up and things like that. Just let it go. Let this be the year that you let things go. And where you say, you know what, maybe that was done to me, and it was not a nice thing that was done, but I'm going to choose to forgive as much as that hurt. And I'm not saying just to sweep it under the rug. You're going to have to do the work. And we bring people out here all the time that are going to help you do the work. Coaches that are going to, that are available, that we've had, that have said, hey, you need to go back and revisit some of those things so that you can deal with it and then move on in health and in healing and in wholeness. And so that's what we're advocating here. And especially because of Father's Day. And so I'm so excited about tonight's guest, because you're just going to see a lot of beauty and love and just some realness on the show. But before we do, I just wanted to take a quick minute to say happy birthday. My dad's birthday, both of them are in July, so a little bit early on that, but happy Father's Day to both of my dads. Y'all know that I have two dads. This is the dad that raised me. He married my mom when I was 5 years old, I think. But ever since I can remember being alive, this is the dad that I remember being in my life. And so happy Father's Day to you, Dad. I call him Papi, and love you so much. And just so thankful for you in my life. The impact that you've had in my life, the joy that you've brought to my life, the wisdom that you've brought to my life. I just love you so much. He's in Wisconsin now. And then I want to say happy Father's Day also to my biological dad, who I do adore as well. And a lot of my quirks I get from my dad. A lot of the Galley-isms that I have, or the Cyndi-isms, they come from my dad, he's a musician, but he's a retired RN, served in the military as well. And so I've just been so blessed to have these wonderful men in my life. And so whatever your situation, some of you may say, well, I don't have a dad, or my dad wasn't in my life. And, we've all walked through things. I've shared that there was a time where I went without both my dads in my life for different reasons. But at the end of the day, God is the one that I had to turn to. And he's the one that really allowed me to bring those hurts and those pains and some of the rejection I may have felt, some of the abandonment I may have experienced. And he really, through the help of coaches, walked me through that. And the thing is that he promises, like, I know you by name. I've called you. I've chosen you. So no matter how you feel, about your earthly dad, there is a heavenly Father who loves you so much. He loves us so much. And if you have pain, if you're holding on to it, like, reach out to us. We want to help you let go of that and allow God's love just to come in and bring the healing that is needed. Because if anyone going to bring you the healing, it's going to be him. He's the only one that I know that can heal the way that he does, the way that we really need it. And then we don't have to turn to some of these other things. Like, I was turning to all kinds of stuff and doing all kinds of things because of the brokenness and the pain and the hurt, and trying to find my footing as a young female. And so thankful for God's grace, his mercy, and that I have both my dads in my life. And so I pray that whatever you do, that you really do find the time. Maybe your first step is just picking up that phone and just saying, I'm just going to text my dad and just say, I love you. Maybe I'm not ready to have a phone conversation with him yet, but do something new. Would you do something new and something different this Father's Day, and be intentional about honoring your dad? And, the word says to do unto others as you would have them do to you. And sometimes things aren't always done to us that's right, but that doesn't mean that we pay back evil for evil. If things were done to us incorrectly or wrongly, I know I had a conversation with one of my dads, and he just said, I did the best I could do. But I had to tell him, like, this is how I feel. And he said, I did the best I could do. And I love the fact that we were able to have that conversation. Maybe just a conversation needs to be had. But honor your dads, celebrate your dads. And then, of course, for all of y'all that are graduating, we just want to congratulate you guys, whether it's from 8th grade or high school or college and beyond. Congratulations, you did it. I know sometimes when you're in the thick of it, I remember being my last semester of graduate school. I was at Oral Roberts University, and I had one semester left, and I was done. I went to class, and I sat there, and I just felt so blank. And I was like, I don't want to study anymore. I'm done. I don't want to read another book. I don't want to study for another test. I called my mom and I said, I'm done. And she's like, it's January. You still have a semester left. And I was like, I'm done. So I ended up graduating, but all that to say, you pushed through and you did it. And so well done. We just wish you the very best. The word of God says that he has plans. There's a purpose. There are things that he's called you to do. So we pray for every graduate that you embark on that journey that he already has established for you. And then you're not going to have to try and figure it out. Like, yes, we still pray and we ask God for direction, but there's already things he's gifted you and called you to do. And so we're excited for you ending this chapter in this season in your life. Congratulations. And we're excited, and we're championing you in this new season of this new chapter that you're opening. So now, that being said, I'm so excited about tonight's guest. It's not just a grad, it's not just a dad, but it's actually a powerhouse father-daughter duo. The whole family is amazing, but we could not think of a more fun father-daughter to bring out than tonight's guest. So would you please help me welcome? Actually, I want to tell you a little bit about them before I get all excited, but let me tell you a little bit about tonight's guest. Okay, Reagan is 17 years old. She's just graduated from high school, is soon starting cosmetology school, is a wedding makeup artist. Let me tell you, this girl is the epitome of creative, very creative, beautiful from the inside out. But as a wedding makeup artist assistant, she loves performing in and out and traveling to new places. And as for her dad and her mom, well, they've led youth churches in Portland, Los Angeles for 20 years, where they've seen hundreds of teens find the Lord in skate parks and campus ministries. Stephen was also the national creative director for J12. For those of you who know J12 is, for the last 5 years, he and his wife have been the lead pastors of New Song in gorgeous Colorado Springs, which I've never been to Denver. Almost went to school in Boulder. I got accepted to Boulder, but I ended up staying here and going to APU instead. So Colorado Springs is on my list, but he loves movies, sports, 80s music, hello, chocolate cake, and hanging out with his family. Would you please help me welcome the talented and the fun father-daughter duo, Stephen and Reagan Hibdon. Hello.
Hello.
How are you both doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here.
We're great. We're glad to be here as well.
How are things in, I was going to say sunny Colorado, but I remember that you said that it started raining just a little bit ago.
Yes. It rains not too often, very dry, so very unusual, but beautiful 80-degree day today. Sun, more sun here than we've had anywhere else in our lives.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm so glad to have you both on here. It's a treat. Stephen, you're an icon here at The Rock. Of course, J12 as well, but I've had the honor to work with you in years past when you were the communications director, and you would do all kinds of fun and creative things, like to the umpteenth degree. And your name still comes up so frequently with just some of the fun things like that used to happen here. And it's like, oh, well, Pastor Stephen. Da, 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 da. So it's wonderful to have you. And I can't wait to talk with you a little bit about, now this new season in Colorado. And Reagan, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me see. I believe we have a picture of you. So you just graduated from high school. How does that feel?
It feels great. I'm done with school. So yeah, I'm glad to be done.
You said you're done with school?
Yeah, I mean, it's pointless to me anyway. So I'm just kidding.
She did great. She did great. She had good grades. She just would rather not be in school. I think many girls would be able to relate with that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I always say school isn't for everybody. And as a creative, I'm actually shocked that I even pursued my master's degree. That was really at the Lord's directive. But I absolutely agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I think, the different ways that we're all created and wired, like for me, math was the hardest. And I don't know, those of you that are watching, like, let us know what were some of the courses that you struggled with. But for me, it was math. I struggled with math. Science was like, eh. And then I excelled in writing, English, reading, And so, and of course, was in chorale every year. I went to a private school, so they didn't have all of the things that a lot of the high school students in public schools get to have, like theater and drama. Like I know, Reagan, you like all of that stuff.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to be done with school?
Just great.
Has it sunk in yet too?
No. I feel like once the time that school normally comes around, then I'll probably notice it more. But yeah.
Yeah. So right now it might just kind of feel like summer break,
Right.
I did not see her yesterday. It was Saturday, her first Saturday. Not that Saturday, she's not in school on Saturdays anyways, but you could tell it was already summer. We said goodbye to her at 8 a.m. And I did not see, probably more like 7 a.m., and I did not see her till 11. She had to come wake us up in our bed and say, I'm home.
Oh, well, at least
She's having fun.
She's celebrating. She's enjoying. She's kicked off her summer now.
Yes.
She threw that hat away. That was a really cute picture that I saw of you, and it's something about y'all. Was it by y'all?
Yeah, that was on my cap.
She thinks she's from the South.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I really am so excited to have you both on here just for so many different reasons. I mean, the whole father-daughter aspect, I feel like, especially nowadays, that's one of the most strained relationships that I think I've seen, growing up, but even more now than ever, where the father-daughter relationships are very strained. And it's heartbreaking to see that. And so we're excited to have a beautiful example of a father-daughter relationship, and just to talk about the dynamics of your relationship as father and daughter. So talk to us a little bit about, what that's looked like. Steven, that must be kind of crazy for you to be looking at your daughter, because that picture of the two of you, you guys, you could just tell, just so cute, growing up, this cute little thing. And now here she is, graduated and coming home at 11 o'clock at night.
Yes. Every dad has a different daughter. My daughter happens to be Reagan, and it makes it a lot easier. And, I don't think that's our greatest downfall, I think, in America or all over, is that we compare and we look at other families, we look at other kids, and we look at other dads, and I wish I had this, I wish I had, and we all have our things, and we compare too much, and what we have is special, but so is everyone else's, and we just happen to have a lot more of the same likes, and she happens to not disobey as much as maybe some others might. Although the thing is, she's not great at cleaning her room.
No.
That's about as bad as it gets, though, for her.
Yeah.
I was making a joke that I'm sitting here on the desk, and there's, I don't know why this is here. That's one shoe. Here's another shoe. Yeah, I won't even. There's socks on the desk, and I didn't plan that, but yes.
Reagan, are we in your room right now?
Yeah, this is the makeup room.
Okay.
Our house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her and her mom share it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, at least you share that space with your mom. So if you ever needed a pair of socks or a pair of black booties, and they're right there for you to grab. I love that. And I that is beautiful that you said that. I often do tell people, don't, that whole saying of like keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
The Joneses, and why do you need to keep up with them?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I also, the word is so clear, like imitate those who through faith and patience have inherited the promise. And, let's be real, there are families that are maybe struggling, and even with a family that's the mom and dad are still together, because the dad isn't investing time in the kids. And, would you speak into that at all? Do you feel like you can share a little bit just about some of the things that you've had to do to be intentional, even in some of your responses? I was like, I love that he's saying that, because we just need to get back to the basics, like what's important,
I think that sometimes it's work, but if you love each other, if you love your daughter, if you love your kids, you want to be in their life. So I think a key with teenagers is when they're wanting you, that you're there, because sometimes you're busy when they are ready for you, and you would rather you're doing something else, but you better drop it, because that's your chance. When they're wanting you with them, you jump in, and like just she's wanting to, she comes home late at night. Maybe I'm tired and I don't want to talk. Like I would have rather talked at 4 p.m. and she's coming in at 4 a.m. Not really that late, but she'll want to explain. She's in her mood where she wants to talk, and maybe she wants to talk about her boyfriend, or and that's when and sometimes I'll feel like, what am I going to say? But really, it's not about even having to go in your brain. You just let it happen. You listen, and you really often don't even need to say much back, but just being there, at those strategic times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Now I
love
gave away
that.
my
What would you say
secret.
to that, Reagan? I think that's important. When they're wanting you, you better be there,
Mhm,
because they won't always be there.
mhm.
That song, "The Cat in the Cradle" and the Silver Spoon.
Yeah.
That the first time I heard that song, I was devastated for
Mhm.
both the father and the son. I was like, that's such a heartbreaking song, but that is the reality of a lot of families, the dynamics with especially with the working parent. But Reagan, what would you say to that? Some truth to that, a lot of truth.
I think that's
felt,
pretty accurate, because I like to talk a lot.
I gave away my secret there,
I know.
guess.
I like to talk a lot, and so I want to tell someone about what I've done throughout the day.
Mornings aren't good. You don't like to talk in the morning.
No. But yeah, I think it's good just to have someone to talk to, and just to like rant or tell what you did that day too.
We get into, like, if we're in the car too, especially if we're driving somewhere, we'll get going.
Yeah.
Like, I'll hear the deepest parts. I'll be like, where did that come from? Just when you're in the talkative mood.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's so special. Well, praise God for that. And any of the parents that are watching, like, take note. It's what you said is not something that's rocket science. And you said it takes work. But I think, again, like anything that we want to invest in or anything that's important to us, we will make the time for that. And sometimes that is inconvenient. It is maybe getting up at 11 o'clock at night. And I love that she wants to talk to you, and share with you the things that are going on in her life. I think a lot of times what we see is that parents stop being there for their kids as much.
Yeah.
So that the kids stop sharing with their parents
Yes.
as much and start finding other sources, which aren't always the best sources.
Yes. Sometimes kids are easier to talk to. She just opens up. But other kids, I have 3 other kids, and they're boys, but it's work. It's not hard. It's not like work you don't like. It's good work, except that maybe your favorite thing is not movies, or maybe your favorite thing is not sports. I find ways to know that stuff, and it's fun to learn that stuff so we can talk. With Reagan, we happen to have the same interests in a lot of things, so it's easier with her. But I have a son that loves movies, and I have a son that loves sports, and the one son hates the sports and one son hates the movies. And one son doesn't want to talk at all, and one son will talk too much, and so you gotta take advantage of those opportunities. So
I love that. And speaking of your family, you have a beautiful, so this is Reagan's graduation.
Yes.
And it's with 2 of your sons there, and then your beautiful wife, Cynthia. You're missing a sibling.
We're missing Noah, the oldest.
Okay, let's see. Is Noah in this one?
He decided. Yeah, there he is.
There he is eating.
Yeah, he didn't want to take the picture. He decided to come for graduation. He decided to fly in, and it was the day after graduation, so he came for the party. And
okay. He wanted to Party.
So that was a dinner before the party, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought I would put that in there.
No, thank you for that. Well, there's so many wonderful things about, your family. And I think one of the things that, and this is really more about dads and grads and of course the father daughter, but I've also just loved watching you and Cynthia, bring Jaden into your lives and just the love that's there and just, pouring into him and choosing him. And then, just even going through some of Reagan's social media was just cute to see
Yes.
some of the things that she's been involved in that have supported, I want to make sure I'm saying what's the correct phrase? Because I don't want to say the wrong.
Oh, just supporting Jaden and having Down syndrome.
Yes.
Having
the Down syndrome.
Having special needs. And Reagan is the greatest big sister to him. He adores her.
I love it.
There
were some really cute pictures that I saw on social media, but I didn't feel like I could have asked, but I was like, oh, so sweet. But you just see the love, the mutual just love there. It's so beautiful. And then I think you said you have one more member of your family. Is it a little 4-legged creature?
Oh, yes. He hears us. There's Jaden.
What's his name?
Come here.
That's Ollie.
Ollie.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, what a beautiful.
Just quick say hi. He heard you. Say hi, people.
Jaden. How are you? Look at you.
What
Hey, you're on camera.
You're on TV. I love you.
I love you.
Oh, honey, I love you. Oh, so sweet.
Peace out.
Peace out. He's gone. He gone.
You know what I loved? I don't know, was this some kind of a production that you did, Reagan, with the kids? And I don't know if they all had Down syndrome, but it was some type of a dance. And
yeah,
I mean, he was like front and center and like, it's my time to shine.
He's a performer too. So
she does a lot with that. There's a concert every year that happens and thousands come to it in our town, and she's one of the coaches that helps the kids learn the dances. And
it's a Christmas show event, and it's what I help with is they do a dance every year. It's just anyone with there's lots of people with special needs, all different kinds of comes from different kinds of houses and stuff. So
well, it looked like a lot of fun, and I just thought that's so special. And he just looked like he was glowing and beaming. It was the cutest thing. I loved it. So Reagan, you've spent all these years in school, probably more than 12 years, because a lot of times parents will put their kids in, a little bit of preschool here and there. And, you definitely are a creative, talk to us a little bit about, as you're, wrapping up school, sometimes students will be like, okay, like this is what I'm doing and I'm going to go to this school. And, did you ever feel like any kind of external pressure to be somebody else that you're not, because I feel like even as adults, people do deal with that. They'll hear what other people are doing and they'll want to follow suit. And yet they feel awkward. It's like, square, round peg, square. Well, I forget what that phrase is. Can you help me? Is it round peg, square hole, or the other way around?
Yes, you got it. I think that's right.
So talk to us a little bit about that, because I love that you're like, I'm doing cosmetology. This is what I'm doing. I may never even do school again. Talk to us. There's a freedom in that. There's a freedom in knowing and being confident, like, that's really not for me. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Because I'm sure there are some people that are watching that they've already graduated and they're still kind of not sure what their future should look like and how they should, what's the word? How they should go after and pursue the things that are in store for them.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, ever since I was little, cosmetology has kind of always been like a passion of mine. And like, I love doing makeup and hair and nails and all things beauty related. And so, really, how I made the decision is I kind of just thought, like, what would I like to do in my life and what would be the most fun? Like, I don't want to be bored the rest of my life. So, what's something that I would enjoy doing? Um, and so, cosmetology just kind of seemed like the perfect choice for me. And I think everyone that I know agrees.
Mhm. It's no surprise one bit.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't tell her she had to go to a certain school. Her brothers both went somewhere to a university, and I remember at probably 3 years old, she said, I'm gonna be I don't know how you called it. Would you know the word cosmetologist back then?
Like a makeup artist.
A makeup artist and a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, pastor, minister, however it is, we're all ministers in some way. And I remember her telling stories how she's going to make up her staff to look really good, and they'll always look good because she's a makeup artist. And I don't know what is in store. She doesn't even know what God has for her, but it will definitely be used in all of the ministry that she does. So,
Oh gosh, I love hearing
right?
that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You know what's so wonderful too is that you and Cynthia have allowed her also. You've released her in a sense to be who she is. I know sometimes when students are graduating, especially from high school, there's that pressure that parents want their kids to be. For the longest time, the kind of school that I went to is a private school, and most of my friends that I graduated with are doctors. Most of them are. So I felt this pressure to be the medical field. I don't like anything having to do with that, you know. And I don't like the hospitals and all of these things. And yet, you know, there weren't a whole lot of choices that I was being told. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and my biological dad's an RN. And so there's just that push with like, well, be a teacher, be a nurse, be a doctor. And none of those felt
Sure.
right for me, you know. And I think sometimes parents would, you know, for the longest time, my mom was like, well, I think you need to, you know, look into becoming a doctor. Well, there's no way my calling and my wiring and my gifting couldn't be any further exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
So, and of course, you know, my mom, as she grew in the Lord, she began to understand, oh, that's not who Cyndi is and things like that. But I love that even before she graduated, you guys have already said, no, like we support you, and you see who she is. You know, my heart is that parents would see who their children are and help them, you know, training up the child in the way they should go. Each child has a different way,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
When they grow old, they won't depart
Oh
from
yeah,
it.
her way. Yeah, it was no doubt that God can give you the way of makeup, because she has people call her that I'm like, do you know how old she is? She's not old enough to be doing it. They'll say, hey, can you come do our makeup at our wedding? You know, you're so good. And I say, don't tell them how old you are. Just say,
Act professional.
let them write the check. And
Well, we'll have to fly you out, you know, whenever we're doing something for Fashion Magazine. And that's been wonderful having you as a part of Teen Fashion and, you know, being a part. And we're still, some of those things are still being developed. Like right now, the focus is taking what we already have and now let's get them translated into Spanish. And so we're just taking these baby
yeah.
steps as well. But just, you know, having you, you know, helping out with the TikTok and things like that, like, and just seeing your sense of leadership. That's the other thing. You definitely have that. And then I loved how when we were kind of, you know, talking about throwing some dates around, you're like, oh, well, my dad and I are speaking that Monday, you know, at a camp. And I'm just so proud of you. I love, again, you know, it doesn't have to be one or the other. You know, it's not, oh, I'm only called to be a makeup artist,
Right.
only called to be in ministry. No, God wants to use these different pieces. and then it's you, it's Reagan. It's like, it's nobody else who can do the things that he's gifted you to do. It's nobody else can do the things that you're called to do. Only you can do those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I having, friends that have kids or teens like you that are creative, sometimes I get frustrated even with the education system when those systems don't recognize the gifts and they want every student to learn and they expect them to learn the same way. It's like, you're a teacher. How are you not getting it? That's not their bend. They're not, like somebody might be able to know the entire script of Annie, but maybe have a little bit of a hard time here. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I couldn't memorize all of Annie and the blocking and the singing and all of that.
Maybe they can't read one book all through high school. That's so wrong. But they can make a video book report to make it look like you read the book.
Yes, exactly. Maybe do we know someone in that?
No. But there's probably kids out there that don't read. My son is 8, has Down syndrome, and I think he's read more books than one of my kids.
I love it. It reminds me of Elle. Was it Ella? The one that the Legally Blonde?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And her application was all in video.
Yeah.
Video.
I'm like, that's my kind of application.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. I love that. Well, it's just wonderful and it's refreshing to see and to hear, just to watch. And then, you're the only girl in a family of all brothers, and so I think that also probably is something that adds to that dimension of that special relationship, that you have with your dad. And so have you ever looked at your brothers and ever thought like, well, how come they can do that with dad, but not me? Or is it not that kind of a thing at all? With siblings, things are always a little unique and interesting.
I feel like they would probably say that about me. I think, obviously they do stuff together. Doesn't really interest me what they do, but we go on like fun dates and like to dances and plan like music videos to make, which wouldn't interest them either. So I think we have a good balance of different interests that only some of us like.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Well, that's fun and it's very special. I know we're talking about dads and grads, but sometimes there are dad figures in our lives. And I know that Reagan, your dad has been a mentor for many people, even for me, Stephen. You mentored me even with the things of production, saying, hey, can you produce these video news announcements? And then just kind of giving me the trust that you did and the freedom that you did. That really helped to build.
Oh no, what's happened? Just kidding.
But like I said, you are iconic. Your name comes up in so many different meetings, and sometimes we'll see some of the crazy videos that you did. Even some of the interns that were at The Rock. And so there is a person who recently had talked to me about the impact. Actually, he was talking to a few of us about the impact you had in his life. It actually brought me to tears. Do you know a guy by the name of Izzy Rodriguez?
Yes. Remember Izzy?
We do.
Oh,
hey,
he's on.
Hey, Steven, how you doing, Reagan?
How's it going? Look at him. He's gangsta. Look at that.
Oh man.
Izzy's in the show. We're having
in the
show.
show. Cindy said, "Hey,
oh my goodness,
let's surprise and get in this thing." And I thought, oh man, for Steven, anything.
Yes. Just, Izzy, you shared some wonderful things about how Stephen impacted your life. And because we are honoring dads, I thought it would be fun to have you on here just as someone who was truly transformed by by his leadership. So would you share and tell a little bit of your experience with Stephen with the rest of the viewers? Because what you shared with us, I mean, literally had me in tears. And
Yeah.
share as much as you need to. You don't have to tell the whole thing.
No, I'll say what I have to say. But
Yeah, I know.
I actually reached out to Stephen not too long.
Beep, beep.
I know, right? I reached out not too long ago to Stephen after I think we had that conversation with the team, Cyndi, and we talked a little bit. But it really is, you can have jokes and really kind of have these people that really helped you out in a lighter matter. But Stephen, I think I've always have told you, and I will always say this with everybody, that if it wasn't because of you on how you showed grace on kind of the tougher times and me trying to, walk right, but how much you showed grace and how much you invested, just your time, it really kept me in my walk with the Lord, and kept me with my walk in the church. And I don't say that sarcastically or, I really, because of that, I thought, oh, I'm good then. Like it was just, man, I'm okay. And I can get into like probably one of the biggest stories that, I was serving under you, and I felt like I shouldn't come and serve at, J12, this youth group, because the day before I was just doing my own little thing, and I felt convicted. And just the way you showed grace, and this was before I even jumped in a team with you, really, that launched into my career path. I just thought, man, it was in that moment on how free you still saw me and all of that. I thought, oh man, and I was like feeling so like awful that one Sunday. I'm like, I can't go and serve with these kids. I feel all bad and jacked up. And you were just kind of like, hey, come on in and just show love. And I think the more, we hung out, I just thought, man, first of all, I never met somebody who saw me, I guess, in such a way where it's not intentionally trying to correct. It was just more of a, hey, what's up with you? What are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? And one thing, led to another with me joining your team, and then us having lunches. And I still have some of the photos, but of me literally working volunteer, really, while you were the communications director, and I was just doing graphics like on PowerPoint, old school. And now I'm the comm director, and I'm thinking, dude, I seriously cannot say, like, them saying, like, there's just times where it's like, hey, you say this a lot, or people normally say this a lot, hey, I wouldn't be here without you, or things like that. I think in all sincerity, if I wasn't under somebody like you, and if I wasn't really with you, I really don't know how long I would have stayed. And then on, obviously, some other men of God came through and stuff, but I seriously can't say this enough. You really helped me in so many ways. And Reagan, I mean, your dad is your dad, but played a big impact in my life with the Lord. And I seriously want to be like you.
I want to be like Izzy, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I try to have that fun. I try to have that lightheartedness and not take so many things serious, and yet do work and love people and host people. I don't think I've ever been hosted that well like I did with the Hibdons. And it wasn't even for me. It was like a movie night in the backyard. And I'm thinking, they have a popcorn maker. They have an inflatable. I mean, I thought, like, dude, this is a host. Like, you feel so special. And I mean, I could go on about every little thing, but Stephen, to this day, there is not one time that I can say your name, well knowing of where I'm at. With Ty, with everybody. Obviously, these people played a big part in my life, but you were the one that saw me with my cool beard back in the day, put me in the choice. And from there on, I got plugged in. I got plugged in, and I'm still here.
I was like, hey, cool beard.
Seriously.
I don't know your name, but you should be a disciple.
That's literally exactly what happened. That was our first encounter. That was, and here's the thing. I don't think, Steven, you knew this, or you might have, but just to remember or refresh your memory, I wanted to go into that play.
Oh, yeah?
I just missed the audition segment. And so I thought, okay. But I realized that it was, I needed to get connected with people. And I thought I checked online or somewhere, and it was like auditions are over or things like that. And I was like, okay. And random in a service, we ended up just meeting, and that was like, oh, okay, cool. But man, I seriously, the other day I was talking actually to my sister and about church and people, and I realized, because you sent me a photo of your of like a post that you had on your Instagram, and I thought, man, you really saw something in me. You really, really did. In a place that I think I wanted to see that in me, but just even the lunches and, you shouted me out on your Instagram. That is my birthday at 21. It was just like those meaningful things. Like, people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people tend to have their own personal accounts private, but yet for me, and you had so many people that you probably could have done that, but there was just a lot of, a few posts of me that I thought, man, for somebody to get into their private life and put me there, it felt very intimate. It felt very personal. But I told the team, hey, I remember Stephen Hibdon in his office. He had in this office, we do this. And so I have that in my office. I mean, I really do try to follow your footsteps in a lot of ways. And
that's awesome.
We continually look at a lot of the videos we used to do. Do you want to join a rock group or rock team with Elsa or Frozen song?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about memories. So anyways, man, I'm
you want to give us a little snippet of that?
Oh, God, no.
I know it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, it's sometimes a little haunting, but it was so fun though. But in all sincerity, man, I cannot thank you enough, and I try to do it as I can. But yeah,
pretty humbling, and of course, I would say this. We all have the power to do that for someone else, and it's not work when the Holy Spirit leads us. I know we're not trying to be too Christian here with this, but when God leads you to tell someone they have a cool beard, you listen, because God knows what he's doing, and right. Sometimes our kids need to hear it too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's true. So sweet. Yeah.
No, thank you, Cyndi, for allowing me to just jump in and say some.
You got it.
Let's do a fist pump, like down, like. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we did it.
Thank you so much, Izzy. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful.
No, good having and I'm looking at the three of us, ex-com director, current com director. What?
Y'all left me a lot of work.
Because we knew you could handle it.
Yes.
You guys. Funny story, just real quick. At Stephen Hibdon. I knew when, you're always very giggly, always very welcoming as a person. Just welcoming. But I remember this one time you were in your office and you had the lights somewhat dimmed, and you were in the corner office and you have, 2-3 screens, and you had your headphones in. And that was kind of your typical, he's in the zone. And I just see you on your screen, doing a lot of things. And I'm thinking, man, how many things is he really doing right now? Like on the computer. And I said, headphones, more serious, And I asked you, I just tapped on your shoulder and I said, hey man, how many things are you doing like right now? Like, what are you really all working? And all you did back in the day was obviously Mac, but you swiped up, and when you're able to see all the things you have open, when you did that, and I saw a bunch of things open, it was like Iron Man. It was like one of those, it was just, And I was like, Stephen, I was like, dude, you were really working on all of those. And so it was that little moment that I actually don't say this, and I haven't told the team or anything like that, but it's in that moment that I saw the capacity of how much you were doing, and yet still tapping me on my shoulder, or me tapping your shoulder saying, hey, does this look good? And you're willing to give me your time. But it's in those moments, I think, as a dad too, not having my father as a younger person. It was, when you talk about work and things like that, it was definitely much more of a, he's working. Like, it's not a cute little graphic, like you are working, and the simple little thing of showing me really what you were working on. I thought, oh, this guy is in a different, like, he's not just a fun, friendly guy, although he was working. And I mean, it was a lot of open things. And so I just thought, man, what a natural kind of build that I have taken from you, of the quality of the amount of work and capacity to reach out and yet still be a human to another human,
Yeah.
So super just random, but that little moment, really random, honestly, has always just kind of been in my mind of like, man, this guy really did capacity work, and so can I, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's and so it's like one of those, definitely can. So it's more of like that father son manhood kind of feel that come to work.
Yeah.
And you're not just you work.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I also want to let you are a very hard worker. Very hard worker. So thank you. Happy Father's Day.
That's a nice Father's Day gift. I did not expect that. That was great.
Good. No, well, thank you, Cyndi.
Yes.
Appreciate this. Say hi to
we'll
the whole family.
To you later, Izzy. All right.
All righty.
Thank you, Izzy. Happy Father's Day to you, Izzy.
Yes.
Thank you.
All righty.
Have
a good one. All right.
Bye.
Well, I love that. We just wanted to surprise you and to bless and honor you, and just always hearing wonderful things about you and how you impacted Izzy's life. So we thought that would be a lot of fun. And then Miss Reagan, I was thinking about towards the end of senior year, you had prom.
You did.
How was prom? Overrated, underrated? I never had prom. We had junior senior banquets. You looked adorable, by the way.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
So cute. I love that. You're just too cool.
Thanks.
So you looks like you and your prom date, aka your boyfriend, had a wonderful time. Talk to us a little bit about prom, because that's always a big thing for seniors.
Yeah.
How was it for you? And talk to us a little bit about that.
Personally, I think like dances are like the best part of high school. Like, a lot of my friends are very self-conscious about themselves, and they don't like breaking it down. But like me, I'm opposite. I'll like go out there by myself and like get down on the dance floor. So the actual prom part was fun, but it was cool. This year we went with the group out to Waffle House after, and I met like people that I've been in high school with like all 4 years. I like actually talked to them for the first time, and it was like super cool, like just like getting new friends the last 2 weeks of school. But yeah, it was super fun.
That is so fun. How many were in your graduating class?
Well, I go to a Christian school, so it's pretty small. But
Okay.
it was about 60 in my graduating class. So
it's a nice size.
Yeah.
Did you get out in the middle and make everyone like, let's
yeah.
dance?
Yeah.
Did you get down on it?
Yeah.
I know your dad likes 80s, but what?
My boyfriend likes to dance too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'm a strong supporter of fast dancing. So
fast dancing?
Yes. As opposed to slow dancing.
Oh, I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you wear your Nikes or were you wearing your heels?
I did. No, well, I wore. We did like a little photo shoot before because that's what I like to do. And so mainly we matched. We wore our Nike Blazers. We matched with those. So yeah, I want to be comfortable.
Yeah, that's why there's shoes on the desk. She still hasn't cleaned up from the prom.
Yeah.
If you see from here down in this room, there's clothes everywhere.
Well, I've just so enjoyed this time together with, just with the both of you. And I don't know if there's anything else that you want to share to leave with people. I know that, Stephen, you had talked about, for you, family was everything, and that as a family, you guys try to live with no regrets. And I just think that is such a powerful outlook on how to do life as a family together. And I couldn't agree with you more. Is there anything that you want to speak into regarding that, either you or Reagan?
I'll say something if you don't, but do you want to say something?
Go ahead.
There is nothing, doesn't matter what your paycheck is or how much you're making. There is nothing that you'll regret from investing in your kids. And if it costs you a little more than something like, oh, this costs, you do it. I'm not saying spoil them and do everything, but yes, she does get spoiled. But she does pay for her own car. She just got home from work right before this. She works at Rizzuto's Ice Cream, and she does. But when there's something coming up and you have the opportunity to do it, go for it with your kids. We've done a thing every year where we go to this big gala, and it's not cheap, and we've done it for 6 years in a row, I think. And it's something that we have as a memory we look back on, and when she is upset or if she has something at odds against me, we have had that to come back to. Look at what we do together. If there's a play or a musical that costs a little more than things that we make the point, we make the the investment, and we go out to dinner, we do all kinds. Not so much anymore as she's getting older. When your kids are young, do it. But she's busy now, so I don't have time to go to dinner. No, you don't say that. But it's because you don't have time, so I don't even ask you. But
maybe Reagan, you can ask your dad out to dinner when you have time.
Yeah.
No, no, just kidding.
I think it's basically the same thing. Like, one thing that my family's taught me is, again, no regrets, and you should make the most out of like your younger days, but also time being with your family and going and doing fun stuff, because you don't want to miss out on the fun memories and the fun times. Yeah,
and let me say one tip, and you can cut it out if you don't have time for it. We can say goodbye, and that's it. But here's another thing: is she's got a boyfriend, and I could say I don't want her to have a boyfriend. You can't be going out on dates and stuff. But the thing is, she's in our house, and this way we get to be a part of it. We want her to see, or we want to be able to speak into their relationship. If they're out late, if they're going to this place, if they're thinking about going to, I have a chance because she's living here to say, oh, I don't know about that. And Cynthia really can, because she knows girls, they talk. And if I was to forbid it, which I wouldn't forbid it, but if I was to forbid it, she would, when she gets out of this house, the first thing she'd be doing is going to find a guy, and she has no one to give her advice anymore. And we're able to walk through, like, literally every
day.
Yeah. We walk through things. We walk through fights. We walk through misunderstandings. And I would give that advice to a dad. If you forbid your kid from dating, it's
anything.
Yeah, or for really anything. Let them see the menu let them read the menu, let them order from the menu, and you're here with them. You can say, oh, you shouldn't get that. And a lot of times you say it like you shouldn't get that, and you can't get that, right? But you say it, you suggest it, they start to order right. When they leave the house, they're gonna eat right, they're going to live right. That's all.
Wow. Yeah, that's so good. Would you agree with that, Reagan? Would you say that
Yeah.
sounds about right?
No, you do.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you both so much, and your whole family. I mean, you guys really are just a genuinely real family with, everyone's got issues, but I love how you're saying, we work through this. And this episode's not about tell us how you work through that,
Yeah.
That's not this episode. This is more to celebrate, what God has done in your lives as, husband and wife with your family, as father and daughter, as a graduate. This is just really more a celebratory, and you as a mentor and a, spiritual leader impacting Izzy, who now is so crazy that he's now walking and working in the role that you were when you were mentoring him and pouring into him. So thank you so much for being here with us tonight, and just for sharing the love of your family with us, and just for dropping seed of things that are possible. There are people that have a heart to adopt, and maybe they feel like I just can't do it. I don't have the time. I don't have the space. It's inconvenient, but they have a heart to do it. And just seeing the love and just now this precious forever changed life, of your son, and just seeing all the opportunities that now he's been given, because you said, you're ours. We want you, you're our son, and just how you just pulled him in to every facet of your life. I just think that's so beautiful. And to see you pouring into him with the gifts that God's given him, so sweet that, Reagan said, oh, he's a performer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just cheers to you, to how you have parented all of your kids from oldest to youngest. And Reagan, congratulations to you, girl, on graduating. So I'm excited about when you are out here, you let me know, because you got to do Miss Cindy's. And I will tell me when you're out here. Cause I'm telling you, I don't know how to do makeup. It's like, I look decent one day, and then the next I'm like, why did I put that? I'm so inconsistent. It is awful. So I would love to have your mad makeup skills here. And you do have an Instagram, and you also do have a TikTok where that's beautiful. And we're excited to have that in our next Teen Fashion issue. Girl, that's gorgeous. Then
Thank you.
That's your senior picture?
Yes, technically.
Wow. Technically. And then I also found that you have an Etsy store. So your TikTok is Reagan.Hibdon. Your Instagram is Reagan.Hibdon. And your Etsy store is Stacks by Riggs.
Yes.
Right.
And I also have a makeup Instagram called Makeup by Regs.
Oh.
I post all of those. So
okay. Well, we will have that information available, like your makeup and the other Instagram. We'll have those on the upcoming week. So it'll be on that episode.
And I have a new thing. It's called Facebook. It's Facebook. It's just one word. And if you want to get my Facebook.
Yeah. What is your Facebook? What is your new Facebook?
I think you just type in Facebook on the internet and it'll find it.
Is it your church?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Oh, my word. I'm like trying to type it up. Well, we didn't include your information because all of.
I'm just kidding. Yes. Great. Have you heard of Facebook?
What?
Have you heard of Facebook?
Yes,
yeah.
I have.
Have you?
I have a Facebook. Well, thank you both so much for coming, for hanging out, for being a part of A New Thing Live, for just having fun with us, for being real, and just for sharing a little bit about, what it's like for you to be a dad, Reagan, what it's like for you being a grad, and all that good stuff. Of course, I'm going to say we would love to have you back. And Reagan, we really are trying to venture out into some of the more maybe a little makeup segment with some makeup tips and things like that. So girl, we will be reaching out to you again.
Let's do it.
Okay, everybody.
Okay.
Stephen and Reagan Hibdon, you guys, God bless you.
Bye.
Thank
Father's
you.
Day to you. Congratulations, Reagan. We love you. Give our love to your family. Everybody, Stephen and Reagan Hibdon.
Peace.
All right. Peace. Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. Whether you're a mom, a dad, a single mom, a single dad, a family that's still whole and together. I don't know what point you jumped in on this episode and this interview, but do go back to the beginning of the part where Stephen and Reagan Hibdon come out and they just share a little bit about their father-daughter relationship. This episode is all about grads and dads, or dads and grads, and just refreshing and fun and enlightening. There were some really wonderful things that both Stephen and Reagan both shared. And then, of course, just what a sweet time for Izzy to pop on and to surprise Stephen, who was his mentor for quite some time. And he just attributes a lot of who he is today because of the love and the time and the investment that Stephen poured into him. So you guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Don't forget, if you've not yet subscribed to A New Thing Live, subscribe to our channel. Come and be a part of us. Maybe you can't watch it live all the time, and that's okay. We're on demand. It's YouTube. So do a search on YouTube for New Thing Live. Follow us on A New Thing Live. Facebook, Stephen talked about, do we have a Facebook? Well, we do have a Facebook at A New Thing. Of course, our YouTube is at A New Thing Live. And then email us at anewthing.live@gmail.com. And if you forget all of that, it's okay. We have a website, anewthinglive.com. We are there. You can find us there, and there you will find all of our information as well. But we want to wish you, dads, a very, very happy Father's Day. And we're encouraging any of you to bless, to honor, to make time for those men in your life, spiritual dads. Maybe they're a father figure, your real dad, your stepdad, anyone who's been a father in your life. We're encouraging you guys. Let's make time for them, and let's thank them for all that they've done, for all that they are. And graduates, congratulations. We're so proud of you. Don't forget to check out those gifts for dads and grads. And then if you have a prayer request, do email us at anewthing.live@gmail.com. We want to pray with you, and we are here for you. Be on the lookout for that new thing. Remember, God always has a new thing, and it's just for you. It's only something that only you can do, but it's a new thing nonetheless. He says, behold, I will do a new thing. Have a great week. We'll see you next week on A New Thing Live. Bye-bye.